Everything you've been told about attraction might be steering you the wrong way. If you're tired of being ignored, ghosted, or endlessly chasing someone who doesn't seem to care, stick around. What I'm about to share could completely shift the way you think about relationships. But, fair warning, this is not for the faint-hearted. Ready to discover the truth? Let's dive in. In a world where you're constantly told to always be nice and readily available, it's no surprise you feel overlooked or undervalued. Here's the hard truth. Being overly nice isn't the answer. What I'm about to reveal may challenge everything you believe about attraction, but trust me, if you stay with me, you'll learn to flip the dynamic. Imagine no longer chasing after those who don't see your worth. Instead, you'll understand how to harness human psychology and the timeless wisdom of Stoicism to take control of attraction. By the end of this, you'll have the tools to draw people towards you effortlessly. Let's break it down together. Number 1. The power of ignoring. Why it works. For most of your life, you've been told a lie about how to get someone's attention. Society says that if you want love, affection, or respect, you should show how much you care. Chase them, shower them with compliments, prove your worth. But here's the truth. The more you chase, the more they pull away. It feels counterintuitive, doesn't it? Yet, ignoring, done the right way, is one of the most effective tools in building attraction. Once you understand this, you'll never look at relationships the same again. Think about the world we live in today. Everyone is fighting for attention. Social media has turned into a competition for likes, comments, and followers. Every time someone posts a picture, their phone lights up with notifications. Their inbox is flooded with messages. Now ask yourself, if you're just another message in that sea of noise, what makes you stand out? Nothing. Here's a hard truth. Attention only holds value when it's scarce. If someone knows they can get your attention whenever they want, it loses its worth. But when you hold back, when you make them earn it, your attention becomes something special. Suddenly, you're not just another person trying to win them over. You're different. They start to wonder, why isn't this person chasing me? What makes them so confident? And that curiosity turns into obsession. Ignoring isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about creating space, showing restraint, and understanding the psychology of attraction. When you're not constantly available, you become rare, and that rarity creates desire. Think about luxury brands. Why do people line up for hours or spend a fortune on limited edition items? Because they're hard to get. The same principle applies to relationships. When something is perceived as rare, it becomes more desirable. So, how do you apply this? The next time you feel the urge to text someone repeatedly, pause. Ask yourself, what am I communicating by being so available? Instead of always initiating contact, let them come to you. When you give someone space, it forces them to think about you more. It's not about playing games. It's about recognizing that people value what they have to work for. In the early stages of getting to know someone, try this. Pull back occasionally. Don't always be available to hang out. Wait before responding to texts, and don't always be the one to reach out first. This doesn't mean ignoring them entirely. It means showing that your time and attention are valuable. By doing this, you create intrigue. You make them wonder about you, and that curiosity builds attraction. Think about your own experiences. Have you ever been turned off by someone who seemed too eager? Maybe they texted you constantly, always wanted to hang out, and gave you no breathing room. It probably felt overwhelming, maybe even desperate. On the other hand, when someone was confident enough to give you space, it likely made you think about them more. You wondered what they were up to, and that mystery drew you in. This is the power of scarcity in action. When something is rare, it feels more valuable. Whether it's a product, an opportunity, or a person, we naturally gravitate toward what we can't easily have. By being selective with your attention, you position yourself as someone worth pursuing. This isn't about manipulation. It's about self-respect. It's about showing that your time and energy aren't freely given to just anyone. When you practice this, you'll find that people start to see you in a different light. They'll want to earn your attention because it's not something you hand out easily. So, the next time you feel the need to overextend yourself in a relationship, remember this: scarcity drives desire. By giving people space and being intentional about your availability, you make your attention more valuable. And when your attention is valuable, people will naturally be drawn to you. Number 2, emotional triggers. The secret to attraction. Attraction isn't about logic. It's not about how much money you have, how attractive you look, or even how well you treat someone. At its core, attraction is driven by emotions. Think back to the most intense relationships or crushes you've experienced. Were they calm and rational, or were they fueled by powerful feelings, sometimes chaotic, unpredictable ones? The truth is, emotions rule relationships. People don't fall in love because of perfectly logical reasons. They fall in love because of how someone makes them feel. If you want to create genuine attraction, you need to master emotional triggers. And here's the twist. It's not just about making someone feel good all the time. Many people assume that showering someone with compliments, gifts, and attention will win them over. But too much positivity can actually backfire. Why? Because it's not exciting. People crave more than just comfort. They want an emotional journey. They want moments of excitement, suspense, and even unpredictability. Think about it. What keeps you glued to a great movie or book? It's the highs and lows, the unexpected twists, and the emotional roller coaster. Relationships are no different. So, how do you trigger emotions in a way that builds attraction? You mix things up. Keep them guessing. One day, give someone your full attention. Make them feel like they're the center of your world. The next day, pull back slightly. Create some space. Let them wonder why you're not as available. This isn't about playing games. It's about creating a natural balance of push and pull. When you're unpredictable, you spark curiosity, excitement, and even a little frustration. These feelings, when combined, build deep emotional connections. Don't be afraid to create emotional contrast. Compliment someone, but also challenge them. Share deep moments of connection, but then step back to let them process. These shifts keep things dynamic and interesting. If everything in a relationship feels smooth and predictable, it can start to feel boring. But when there are moments of uncertainty, it keeps people engaged and invested. Have you ever had someone give you all their attention one day and then pull back the next? How did that make you feel? Chances are, you started thinking about them more. You probably wondered what changed, why they acted differently. That curiosity draws people in. It's a powerful emotional trigger. This concept is rooted in psychology, specifically something called intermittent reinforcement. It's the same principle that keeps people hooked on slot machines. You don't win every time, but when you do, it feels amazing. That unpredictability keeps you coming back for more. In relationships, when you create emotional highs followed by moments of uncertainty, it has a similar effect. People become drawn to the unpredictability because they never know what to expect next. It keeps things fresh and exciting, and it makes them think about you more. But remember, this isn't about being manipulative. It's about understanding that emotions are what drive connection. People value relationships that feel alive, where they experience a full range of feelings. When you can create that kind of dynamic, you'll not only build attraction, but also a deeper emotional bond. So, the next time you're tempted to always be available or overly predictable, think twice. Instead, embrace the balance of emotional triggers. Mix things up, keep them guessing, make them feel the thrill of the highs and the intrigue of the lows. This emotional journey is what keeps people hooked, and it's the secret to building lasting attraction. Number 3, high-value behavior, the power of detachment. Let's talk about what it means to be truly valuable in today's world. Everywhere you look, people are trying to prove their worth. Social media is full of people showing off, posting their achievements, flaunting their relationships, trying to impress anyone who will pay attention. But here's the truth. Real value doesn't need to be proven. When you truly understand your worth, it becomes self-evident. That's where the power of detachment comes in. High-value people don't chase others. They don't beg for attention or over-invest in people who aren't doing the same for them. And they definitely don't make someone else the center of their world. Being detached doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself enough to know that you don't need constant validation to feel worthy. When you embrace detachment, you project confidence. You show that you're secure in who you are and that you don't rely on others to complete you. This kind of energy is magnetic. It's the energy of someone who knows their value, someone who's focused on building their own life instead of chasing approval. Here's the key. Stop trying to prove your worth to others. Instead, focus on creating a life that you're genuinely proud of. Work on your fitness, pursue your career goals, dive into hobbies that make you happy. Invest in your mental health. When your life feels fulfilling, you won't feel the need to chase anyone's attention. Your value will shine through on its own. In relationships, practice detachment by not clinging to people who don't match your efforts. Don't be afraid to walk away from someone who doesn't see your worth. When you let go of needing a specific outcome in your relationships, you take control of the dynamic, and that's incredibly attractive. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how people who are desperate for attention often get ignored? On the other hand, those who are focused on their own goals and passions seem to naturally attract others. That's the power of detachment. When you stop seeking approval, you create space for people to be drawn to you. There's a psychological principle called self-validation. Self-validated people don't rely on others to feel good about themselves. They know their worth, and that quiet confidence makes them irresistible. When you detach from the need for external validation, you radiate a sense of value that's impossible to ignore. Detachment isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to settle for less. It's about knowing that your time, energy, and attention are precious and shouldn't be wasted on people who don't appreciate them. When you live this way, you become the kind of person others admire and gravitate toward. So, stop chasing, start building. Focus on your own growth and happiness, and watch how the world responds. Number 4, mastering subtle influence. Let's dive into what it really means to influence others, not through manipulation, but by understanding human psychology so well that you can guide interactions in a way that benefits everyone involved. Influence isn't about forcing someone to do what you want. It's about leading them toward an outcome by knowing how their mind works. Think about it. Every time you interact with someone, there's a subtle exchange of power. Whether you realize it or not, either you're influencing them or they're influencing you. The people who seem to effortlessly get what they want in life aren't necessarily louder or more forceful. They've simply mastered the art of subtle influence. Here's the truth. Subtle influence doesn't rely on big gestures or overt strategies. It's in the small details, the way you carry yourself, how you make eye contact, the confidence in your voice, and even the boundaries you establish. These almost invisible signals shape how others see you and how they respond to you. Start practicing subtle influence in your daily life. A good place to begin is with body language. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and maintain steady eye contact. These simple adjustments send a powerful message of confidence without requiring a single word. Another powerful tool is mirroring. People naturally feel more comfortable with those who are similar to them. When you subtly mirror someone's body language, tone of voice, or speech patterns, you create a subconscious sense of connection. But here's the key. It must be subtle. If they notice what you're doing, it will feel unnatural and could backfire. Think about someone you know who always seems to get their way. They don't argue, yell, or impose their opinions on others, yet somehow things just go their way. That's because they've mastered the art of subtle influence. They know how to guide conversations, project quiet confidence, and make people feel like agreeing with them is the natural choice. So, what's the psychology behind this? It comes down to something called social proof. People are more likely to follow someone who appears confident, self-assured, and in control. When you project those qualities, others naturally trust your judgment and are more willing to go along with you, often without realizing it. To put this into practice, focus on creating an environment where others want to align with you because they trust your confidence and clarity. It's not about tricking anyone. It's about building genuine connections and leading with integrity. The power of subtle influence lies in its invisibility. It's not about dominating a room, but about quietly steering the energy in your favor. Over time, as you refine these skills, you'll notice that people gravitate toward your ideas, respect your perspective, and value your presence. And the best part? It all feels natural, both for you and for them. Number 5. How self-control amplifies attraction. We live in a world where emotions are constantly on display. Social media is full of rants and reactions. Text messages fly with raw feelings, and real-life conversations often spiral into emotional outbursts. But here's the truth. The more reactive you are, the less control you have. And the less control you have, the less attractive you seem. One of the most powerful traits you can develop is Stoic calm. It's the ability to stay composed, no matter what's happening around you. It's the art of controlling your emotions rather than letting them control you. When you master this, you become someone others can't help but notice. People are naturally drawn to those who remain calm under pressure. Think about it. When chaos erupts and emotions run high, the person who stays level-headed stands out. They become a leader, someone others instinctively look to for guidance and strength. This calmness, this emotional discipline, is magnetic because it signals confidence and control. The next time you feel anger, frustration, or even excitement bubbling up, pause. Take a deep breath and give yourself a moment before responding. This small act of self-control can change how others see you. Practice being the calmest person in the room, whether at work, with friends, or even during an argument. Your ability to remain composed when others are reactive will make you stand out as confident and in control. Have you ever been in a situation where everyone around you was panicking, yet one person remained calm? That person immediately becomes the most respected and, yes, the most attractive presence in the room. That's the power of Stoic calm. This principle is rooted in a concept called emotional contagion. People tend to mirror the emotions of those around them. If you're calm, others will feel calmer in your presence. If you're reactive, their emotions will escalate too. By mastering Stoic calm, you influence not only how others perceive you, but also how they feel around you. When you can stay composed, you project an aura of strength and stability that draws people in. It's not about suppressing your emotions or being cold. It's about responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Emotional self-control shows maturity, confidence, and reliability, all traits that amplify attraction and respect. So, practice Stoic calm in your daily life. When tensions rise, aim to be the anchor. When others are reactive, choose to remain steady. Over time, this emotional discipline will not only make you more attractive, but also position you as someone others admire and rely on. Number 6. Confidence through silence. Let's explore the power of silence, a tool most people overlook or even fear. Many can't handle silence. They panic, thinking it signals something's wrong, or feel the urge to fill the gap with unnecessary chatter. But here's the truth. Being comfortable with silence is one of the strongest signals of confidence. It shows the world that you don't need to always be the center of attention, that you're secure enough in yourself to simply be. Silence often says more than words ever could. In relationships, it can be a game changer. When you don't rush to fill every moment with talk or instantly respond to every question or text, you create tension. The good kind of tension that keeps people intrigued and invested. Think about it. The more you talk, the more you reveal. And the more you reveal, the less mystery surrounds you. Mystery is what draws people in, keeps them curious, and makes them want to know more about you. Imagine you're texting someone new. Instead of firing off replies the second you receive their messages, take your time. When you do respond, keep it thoughtful and meaningful, but don't overdo it. Be brief yet engaging. This keeps the other person guessing, wondering when they'll hear from you again, and thinking about you in the meantime. In this context, silence becomes your ally. It builds anticipation, and anticipation fuels Attraction. Try this the next time you're in a conversation, whether in person or over text. When someone asks you a question, don't jump to answer right away. Pause for a moment, look them in the eye, and let them feel your presence. That pause creates suspense, and suspense naturally heightens attraction. Silence also communicates self-assurance. It shows you're not afraid of the quiet, that you don't need to prove yourself through constant talking. People respect and are drawn to those who can hold their own without the crutch of endless chatter. So, the next time you feel the urge to fill a silent moment, resist it. Embrace the pause. Use it to convey confidence, create intrigue, and let the other person lean into the moment with you. Over time, you'll notice how much more powerful and attractive your presence becomes, not through words, but through the strength of your silence. Number 7. Mystery and distance. Let's build on the idea of silence and dive into the power of mystery and distance. Here's a truth that might feel uncomfortable, but is vital to understand. People don't value what they completely understand. The more predictable you are, the less interesting you become. This is especially true in relationships. When you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, your thoughts, feelings, and life story, you strip away the element of mystery. You become an open book. And let's be honest, who gets excited about a book when they already know the ending? Mystery is powerful because it keeps people engaged. When someone doesn't know everything about you, their curiosity grows. They want to learn more. And the less you share up front, the more they crave your attention. Pair this mystery with a little distance, and you become incredibly intriguing. This isn't about playing games. It's about understanding human nature. The harder it is for someone to fully grasp you, the more they'll want to. Think about social media, where people often overshare their lives with constant updates, photos, and personal details. Now imagine someone who doesn't do that, someone who keeps parts of their life private. That person instantly stands out as more intriguing, right? Mystery works because it leaves something to the imagination. In the early stages of a relationship, don't rush to share everything. Hold back a little. Let them earn your trust. The slower you reveal who you are, the more engaging and exciting the connection becomes. Remember, keeping some distance isn't about being cold. It's about pacing. It's about creating an air of intrigue that draws others closer to you. Number 8. Rejection as power. Let's face it, rejection stings. No one enjoys it. But what if rejection could become one of your greatest strengths? Here's the thing. Most people fear rejection because they take it personally. They see it as a reflection of their worth. But the truth is, rejection isn't about you. It's about the other person, their preferences, their biases, or even their own emotional baggage. When you understand this, rejection stops feeling like a personal attack and starts looking like what it really is: a moment of circumstance. And here's where the real power comes in. It's not the rejection itself that defines you, but how you respond to it. Most people let rejection knock them down. They get upset, take it to heart, or even lash out. But high-value individuals, they handle it differently. They embrace rejection with grace, composure, and confidence. They understand that their self-worth isn't tied to someone else's opinion. Picture this. You ask someone out, and they say no. For many, that would feel like a blow to their ego. But instead of sulking or reacting emotionally, you smile, say, "No problem," and walk away with confidence. That simple response speaks volumes. It shows you're not desperate and that you value yourself regardless of someone else's decision. Here's the twist. The way you handle rejection can leave a lasting impression. That person might even second-guess their choice, wondering, who is this person who's so unfazed? By staying calm and composed, you demonstrate emotional strength, and that's incredibly attractive. Every time you face rejection, think of it as an opportunity to showcase your resilience. The more you master this, the more magnetic you become. Rejection isn't about losing, it's about how you rise above it. So the next time it happens, shrug it off, hold your head high, and keep moving forward. You're showing the world and yourself that your worth is untouchable. Number 9, manipulation or strategy, navigating the ethical line. When it comes to psychology and relationships, there's a fine line between manipulation and strategy. Some might confuse the two, but the distinction is critical. Manipulation involves deceiving someone to get what you want, often disregarding their feelings or well-being. Strategy, on the other hand, is about understanding how people think and using that insight to create a dynamic that benefits both parties. When you understand human psychology, you can foster attraction in natural, meaningful ways. This isn't manipulation. It's being smart and intentional in how you approach relationships. The key is to stay ethical. The goal isn't to trick someone into liking you. It's to build a connection where both people are equally invested. For example, imagine you're in a relationship, and instead of constantly seeking validation from your partner, you occasionally pull back. This isn't about playing games. It's about creating a healthier balance. By giving your partner space, you allow them to step forward and contribute to the relationship. This push and pull dynamic can strengthen the bond, as it ensures that both people are giving and receiving equally. The most important thing is to check your intentions. If your actions are rooted in mutual respect and a desire for a balanced, healthy relationship, then you're using strategy. However, if your goal is purely selfish, focused only on getting what you want at the expense of the other person, you're veering into manipulation territory. Keep your approach ethical, and you'll see better, more fulfilling results. Healthy relationships thrive on mutual trust, respect, and understanding, not on tricks or deceit. Strategy, when done with integrity, isn't about control. It's about creating a space where both people can grow together. Number 10. Balancing confidence and vulnerability. We've explored confidence, detachment, and emotional control. But here's the final, essential piece: vulnerability. At first, it might seem like vulnerability contradicts confidence, but in reality, they work hand in hand. Confidence is magnetic because it shows strength. Vulnerability, however, is equally powerful because it reveals your humanity. When you master the balance of these two, you become truly compelling. Many people fear vulnerability because they associate it with weakness. But the truth is, when vulnerability comes from a place of strength, it enhances your relatability and attractiveness. It shows you're secure enough to acknowledge your flaws, express your emotions, and be authentic. In a world where so many hide behind facades, being genuine is a rare and valuable trait. Imagine this. You're in a conversation, and instead of trying to appear perfect, you share a personal challenge or past struggle. Maybe it's a fear, a failure, or an insecurity. The key here is that you're not seeking pity or approval. You're simply being honest. That honesty, paired with your confidence, creates a deeper connection. It tells the other person, "I'm real, and I'm comfortable with who I am." Don't shy away from letting your guard down. When done confidently, showing your vulnerabilities makes you relatable and approachable. It builds trust and connection, and that's where attraction truly flourishes. You've just uncovered insights about relationships and attraction that most people never even consider. Now, the choice is yours. Will you keep following the crowd, or will you take charge of your own story? The power is in your hands. Remember, attraction isn't about what you say. It's often about what you don't say. It's about understanding what truly works and having the courage to act on it. So, the real question is, are you ready to step up and take control? If this resonated with you, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and consider joining our channel memberships to support us in creating more high-quality content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's the biggest takeaway for you today? Share it in the comments below, and let's explore how you'll put it into action. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.